So the other day we were working for a buyer and going through the processes of constructing an offer. And the buyer kept putting emphasis on a 30-day close, a 30-day close, and be sure to let the listing agent know we're ready to close in 30 days, and just kept putting some umph into this. And we really didn't put much thought into it the first couple times we heard it, but about the fifth or sixth time, right, we asked, why do you keep repeating this? And I'll shape this up for you. This buyer's moving here to Wyoming from out of state, and it turns out that the state or the area that they're moving from, a normal transaction would take 60 to 70 days to move through escrow and change ownership basically, and have, go through the exchange of funds and and the buyer just kept saying, put emphasis into that, put emphasis into it. And we finally had to ask, what's the motivation behind this comment? And what they were trying to demonstrate was the power of a fast closing. And so here, normally what we're normally used to, you can move through an escrow in 30 to 45 days, and that without breaking a sweat. And what they were trying to translate to us is, to them and their mindset, that was really quick. And for us, we're just sitting here thinking, yeah, this is a normal deal, nothing outside the box that we're seeing on this offer, And it wasn't until we asked the question, what does this mean to you, that we learned about their experiences from, where they're coming from. And so it's always about perspective, and we really had to pause at that moment and describe to the buyer that here, if you want to show aggressiveness in writing an offer and put a super fast closing date, we really need to be having the conversation at 10 days to 2 weeks, right? Now they're not cash, if it's cash we can move quicker than that, but with a loan, where they got to get the mortgage put in place, they got to get an appraisal, the title company's got to do their work, they got to work with the mortgage lender. There's too many people in that scenario to move too quickly. So realistically, we should have been talking about a 14 to 16 day close, not a 30-day close. And then we would have caught the attention of the seller and the seller's agent. But it took us a little bit to really kind of grasp what that buyer was trying to relay to us. The question the buyer should have asked us was, to put some oomph into that. Had they asked us up front, what do I need in my offer to get an accepted contract with a really quick close? What would a really quick close in your area look like? And I mentioned that question and that kind of in that sequence because we could be, for example, in a buyer's market and the moving parts of the wheel and the escrows are quite a bit slower. Or it could be a seller's market where there's just a lot of turnover and a lot of transactions, and the transaction wheels are spinning fast. So if the transaction wheels are spinning fast in your community, maybe a 20-day close is about what you're going to get. Whereas when it's more of a buyer's market or neutral market, or there's a lack of inventory, right? There could be a lack of inventory for sale, all of which there isn't a lot of transactions moving through the cogs with appraisers and mortgage lenders and title companies and realtors and all of which you could pull off that 14-day close. So really kind of depends on the market type you're in, the location you're in, and the team that you have, right? You could have a great realtor and a poor mortgage lender, all of which you're not going to pull off that fast close very good. You could have a title company that's got, you know, maybe some newer title agents, or maybe somebody's sick, right? Could be the time of year where everybody's catching a cold or whatever, and you get some people out every once in a while, and that kind of slows processes down. Holidays like November, December, you always got to be really careful because you catch Thanksgiving and Christmas within a 30-day window, and sometimes they both fall on, you know, close to the weekends. So you got to be, you know, you got to kind of watch that. And there's some other areas on the calendar year that you got to kind of watch that. So, you know, we're always being mindful to, you know, if you are saying fast close, fast close, fast close, what do we got to do to be aggressive? We've really got to study a calendar and kind of play this all out to make sure we don't go defect or delinquent in your contract, right? Like, we don't want to go breach and have to ask for an extension. We don't want to have mud in our face, right? We want to know that we got things prepared and ready, and we're not looking over our shoulder, second guessing ourselves, and, you know, asking for that extension or you know, a couple days there, because sometimes not everybody's so happy about that. So, and for good reasons, for certain, you know, there's certain reasons why, you know, that could pose problems. But anyway, just want to share that with you, that it's about perspective and, you know, good communication between us and our customers. And I just want to share this story with you because they were really, you know, those customers really thought 30-day close, we're really socking it in there, and this is going to be a fast deal, and, you know, it was pretty casual for us. So anyway, hope you learned something from this. Thanks for being a subscriber, and catch you on the next video.